right. So a choice lies before this party: knowledge or safety, power or ignorance. Step forward and you will know the truth. Step back and the world will never be the same. You
Ooh.
you have obtained this artifact.
Did we obtain it by
What will you
illegal
do with
means?
it?
Okay, okay, guys. I know that Steve and me said some stuff last time. But I'm not gonna lie. There's this my character probably is gonna want to not give this artifact to people because this is the Eye of Vecna. Is that what it was, or what was it?
The orb of Vecna. The
The
eye of
orb.
Vecna is definitely already an item.
Yeah, and so the orb of Vecna. Yeah, let's not and say we did. Is what um, is what Anvil is kind of going for. Um, and he's kind of ready for stuff, but I want this to be a group decision. Um I will not try to throw our entire party into catastrophe
Oh,
over the. We'll see what goes on from here.
can I can I touch it and find out if it has any instructions? Maybe a Spanish sign?
Uh, so if so currently I'm is it Whittles that's holding it or is it me? Because I know that I Whittles was like, but I'm trying to be like, yes, that is so great,
I
and
think
then put it into my
No, that's not
um
gonna work.
I think what it
okay,
was Whittles is strapped to your chest using the baby
yes,
Bjorn, and and then Whittles I think Whittles is holding the orb.
okay,
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Not because of selfish, malicious intent, but he is not going to be letting this go without assurances that it's coming right back into his possession.
Now, can I touch it if you're holding it?
Oh, you sure you can ask Willows.
Oh, okay.
We'll find out what he says.
I I ask Whittles. Hey, Whittles. Do you mind if I touch your orb? Not in a weird way, but you know, in an investigative kind of way.
His eyes narrow, and you're trying, and you know he's contemplating which orb or orbs you are trying to refer to.
You
And
know.
finally, he realizes that it's the one in his hands. His eyes squint even more as he says, "Touch with the one finger."
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. I reach out
with the back of the hand.
and I, I reach out and I gently, with a serious demeanor, touch the orb with my finger. Carefully, being careful to not remove it from Whittle's hands. And I say, now Whittles, I'm not gonna remove this from your hands. You're gonna hold it, and I'm just gonna touch it, alright?
His index finger starts to glow as he prepares an eldritch blast to your eye if you do anything you're not supposed to do.
Look.
And you're smart enough to know that he's aiming it right at the right eye,
Oh.
too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been in a situation like this before. I know. I know what you're about to do all too well.
And trust me, I'm a doctor.
And believe me, I've been hit with many eldritch blasts before this, so I know what it's like. So what happens when I touch it?
Whittles hisses a little bit.
I say, now. None of that. This is a friendly touch.
So as you touch this orb of Vecna, this interesting, almost forbidden sensation overcomes you. Forbidden in the sense of what you have touched is all of the tainting that you do know.
Yeah.
That's coming from the whispered one, Vecna. This god of secrets, full of politics and magic, things that Vecna thrives on. A little spark of this kind of zaps you, almost as if, just like static electricity. Enough to tempt, knowing that there's power within it. But from your sense, evil is afoot.
There's something wicked inside of you. It's big.
Yeah, it's from Vecna. What did you think?
I fear that there may be more within that object than meets the eye. Maybe at a simple press of a button it could release whatever's in here and it'll try to kill us.
Yeah, it's an evil orb from an evil god. Do you think it's gonna pop out unicorns and marshmallows and piles of gold? No.
There was a slight hope.
I gotta say, without his normal voice,
I love it.
it's not the same.
I love your voice. It's very good.
Hey, I think he's doing a great
Yeah.
job. Okay, he's not using your cheap, AI voiceover stuff. He's using it from a theatrical standpoint. He is using it from the organic tubes in his throat.
Clap for big guy.
I'm trying, man. I'm just
you're
trying here.
You're doing fine. Josh is just mad.
Hey, you guys knew this full well that tonight it was gonna be a night where you got the Steve organic.
Steven in the raw.
That's doing in the raw.
So Whittles then continues to elaborate. Evil orbs from evil gods are evil. 2 things you should know. 1, you're lucky if you can use it without dying. 2, if another evil person wants it, you never, ever, ever give it to them.
Kind of like running
So-
into a basement in a horror movie.
What's a movie?
I have no idea. I must be hallucinating. I think that orb did something to
Isn't
me.
your first child support payment overdue?
Yes. And I'm
Fast
stressed.
Whittles goes on to continue to elaborate now that Reaver Reaper is contemplating how he's going to pay for his children.
Child?
And
It's one child.
Anvil will slowly grab Reaver Reaper's finger and take it off the orb.
There's like a little static like lightning bolt that's just trailing as I...
Yeah.
Except it's like a little bit oozy, like a little slimy, almost like a booger at the very end.
So,
Flick it.
listen up, minions. This is the one time I need you to really listen. Fish, I'm looking at you. Fish, both eyes. Bring the right one forward a little more. No more crooked eye. There you go. Good. We are not giving this orb to the big bad guy. Okay? We're not gonna do it. He's evil, and he wants an evil orb. That's a no-no. The second thing we're gonna do is, if we're lucky, we could use this for a period of time. And we won't die a horrible mingled deaths. If we're lucky. So until we know how we can use it without dying with our insides becoming our outsides, we're not gonna touch it. Except for me.
Please
No
don't
one's
worry, Mom.
fish. No licking it. You're not gonna lick it, fish. And we're
I'll
gonna
go lick
find
it.
out a little bit more about it without licking it, fish.
I go lick it.
Don't lick it. No,
I go
no.
lick it.
And with that, Anvil, I like do like a little head twitch thing to Anvil to try to get him to like flick Fish's tongue away.
well, this is not canon, but it's like Steve's like nobody can touch it. Nobody can touch it. Looks down and the orb is gone, and Anvil has it. What is the size of this orb, by the way? Is it a basketball, softball, tennis ball, golf ball? Is it a choking hazard?
It's a choking hazard.
This orb of Vecna, whoever is wielding it, it becomes the size of whatever a tennis ball would be to them.
Okay.
Oh, it's tiny now then. Because I'm only 2 feet tall, and so like a tennis ball's already tiny. I mean, this thing's like marble sized to everyone else. I was thinking it was like this like beach ball in my arms, but no, it's like this like tiny little thing in my hand.
It's like
That's so cute.
the size of
And
this
how heavy is
Titleist
it?
golf ball.
Yeah.
It's about the size you would expect, the size and weight that you would expect from a tennis ball.
Wow.
Okay. So it's actually okay.
So I've got a
Sounds good.
question. I have a question. It's a very serious question, okay?
He's got the best questions.
I have the best question. There's no greater question than this question that I'm about to ask right now, okay?
Hey, yo, I got some questions too, you know?
I can't hear you. That would be metagaming. I can't hear you! So, now, my question is this. What if, see now, I had some nasty stuff come off on my finger on that orb, right? It's gross. I flicked it away.
Lick it, roll it, flick it.
There's a wave.
Very enough of your questions.
Okay. But I'll ask this next one. So, what if we mounted the orb on a stick and turned it into more of a wand? So that way none of us really have to touch it, but we leave the wand in the care of Whittles.
Like a marshmallow
And then-
on a stick.
Pretty much. And you might be able to cook some things too from the stick. This man is a genius. Thank you, Fish, for being here. So then we can mount it, and then Whittles, you don't have to get corrupted by whatever's inside, and you can still cast spells with it. I suppose, if that's what this thing does.
Counter.
Ace Attorney Phoenix. Objection!
Counter.
That is a very good idea if the orb would work like that. However, do you know anything about the orb other than its name?
I can do, I can check for that. Let me scan the specials of my mind. I'll grab a dice.
So all that and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna reiterate all that I've learned, and like, cause when I did a inspection and knew what was going on with this orb, I'm keeping all this stuff, you know, in the steel trap. This is not something I want to be common knowledge, and the fact that the player who is attached to me is attached to it is enough for Anvil to be like, okay, cool. There's no like devious plans or plots to steal the orb from Whittles, but there's going to be support for it being in arm's reach of me at all times.
That's a great idea. Now, if
Well,
you don't
but
mind,
you guys don't know that though.
I didn't know what you just said.
No.
So I'm a loose cannon. I could do something completely unexpected, like what I'm about to do right now.
Tickle his feet.
Yes, that too. So I'm gonna have to make 2 rolls here, but the first one, I'm gonna do a history check to see if I know anything about this. History check. Oh, no.
You may have to do 3 rolls as you need to dodge an Eldritch Blast at point blank range. Be careful, bud.
I back up 2 feet.
Back out 2 feet.
So okay, all right. None of the. Okay, here we go. Rolling. Ooh, that's a 10.
That's a really great 10. That's a solid 10. The best 10 we ever have had.
Cleanest. That was the cleanest 10. That's exactly a 50%.
That means you know half of everything.
Exactly, and if we don't specify, that means I know half of everything. That's a lot.
But also remember, that's half of nothing, too.
Exactly. That's.
So, so you know, which is very good to also know about. But if you can only remember the other half of the secrets within the temple. I'm just kidding. No, so the things that you remember and you know about Vecna, this neutral evil god, his domains include knowledge and death. He is the god of knowledge and death.
Okay.
For him and his worshippers, they seek the ultimate secrets. Rather, power over mortality. And that is what you remember.
So they seek power over mortality. Was there anything else? Because it seemed like it cut out a little bit. It was power over mortality. What was there anything else?
You remember that Vecna, this god of secrets, and death and forbidden knowledge, his domains are primarily over knowledge and death.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. And then his followers seek power over mortality. Nothing else.
You know, of all things, like, let's sprinkle in some other things. No, yes, power over death is their main, ultimate desire.
I know a
Awesome.
guy that can help with that.
And then I hold my hands up like this. I say, all right, let me drop some knowledge bombs on all of you, okay? So, I know that Vecna is the god of knowledge and death. Who did that?
I just point to Whittles.
Whittles just does this slow clap, like with like the most like unimpressed look on his face.
And Anvil will hold the orb as while he does a slow clap.
Exactly
This
where
is
he
defi-
left it.
Okay, just so you guys know, Whittles and Anvil are kind of right now like this is an egg and we are the incubator. Like we are, like whatever he does, and if it's like clapping, assume Anvil has it, and then it'll go right back to Whittles.
The
Awesome.
mount
that's
and
okay
I
with you,
are
Steve.
slowly becoming one.
Yes.
I love my mount. He is doing good things.
And just like a Kangaskhan, I am holding on to my little Joey,
Aww.
and I have to, and I have to make it. I have to make sure that he goes to bed on time, and he doesn't have too many suckers inside his little carrier,
Oh my gosh, I love that.
and
too
make sure he
much.
doesn't try to, like become a lich. But like, it's, he's doing good right now. He's just like a little warm little spot on my chest that's slowly getting more wicked.
Aww. That's adorable.
Or is he?
You got the big JC on your side?
So, really quick, and all actually, now that you mentioned the brainworm, I do have a serious action I want to take. However, we can skip through it depending on. You don't have to roleplay it all out. What Whittles wants to do, DM, is he wants a signal to get the brainworm around his neck, and he is going to figure out if the brainworm has any insights about the orb that's being held. If the brainworm does, then we can roleplay this out. If he doesn't, then just let me know and I'll just toss the necklace back to some random person.
Guys, the fact that the brainworm's still in the game. What the
Bro,
heck?
brainworm is
That's a
canon.
weird
I love the
thing.
brainworm.
Yeah. Way to bring something to the table, Danielle. Like, that was awesome.
You know it. You know it.
Dude, the brainworm gives us additional spell slots.
Yeah.
We just have to unlock its secrets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Byron, what's up?
Turns
Well,
out the
hopefully
brainworm is
these-
actually just a little it's like a little like essence of Vecna.
I was literally about to say it's the brainworm of Vecna. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, if anything, what you're going to want to do with that orb is wear the necklace. In fact, attach the orb to the necklace and, just kind of leave it alone. Don't worry about it from there. Just put it on. In fact, if there's a special altar that, if you can, have it be like a cistern where you can add a little bit of blood. It doesn't matter where we're from, but if you could add a little bit of blood in there, and then put the necklace and the orb in there, and also if you could say 3 times what I'm about to write on this piece of paper, we can actually cleanse this whole thing. And then it just like the brainworms becomes the big bad evil guy, which is Josh's plan all along.
Ah!
So,
Damn it, bro. Come on.
so widows, are you holding the orb as you put on the necklace charm as well?
That's all. Yeah, that's the only way it's going to work.
Well.
No, I'm okay. We're in a different house now again. Oh, where are we now? Oh. Okay, hold up. What are you doing?
Good evening, brainworm. You and I are unexpected guests tonight in this theater.
Where did you get that?
We got it on the ground, where it has been sitting. And Mr. Brainworm, I know full well that you are finding goodness in your heart, and it is good that you are finding goodness in your heart. And this poor... Oh, sorry, quick aside. Yes, in Whittle's mind, he has a deep, very charismatic voice. And therefore, I know you want to ensure that this does not come to any harm this does not cause harm to other people. So please, if you have any insights on its uses, what it's for, and how we can best safeguard it and keep it so that it does not harm the innocent, that would be very, very good. What would Anvil's Jesus do?
Now hold on a sec here. I'm not the man, the myth, the legend, but I'll tell you what. If you hit your forehead onto that orb, you'll see what will happen real quick.
Will I die if I put my forehead on the orb?
No, man, no, that would be rude.
Yeah, that would be rude of you. That would be very not Jesus of you to try to get me to kill myself. But I have to make sure.
That would be rude indeed. Nah, man, like, get your forehead to this ball, to this orb, and you're gonna see something you've never seen before.
Okay. Thank you.
So,
I
oh my
appreciate it, and you may now return. Oh, who do you want to go back to? Do you want to go back to Anvil, Fish, Cricket, River Reaper?
Now, wait, hold on, hold on. You hit your forehead there, and then we'll decide on that.
Wait, you want me to touch my forehead to the crystal with you? Okay. We're going to do this together, right?
I
3.
mean, I'm here.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. And with that, he presses his forehead against the orb with the brainworm.
I love how you're putting your full trust in that brainworm, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Like,
one thing I know as Whittles is that if I go, he goes with me. And the one thing that Whittles can trust is that most creatures would rather everyone else die than them. And self-preservation is a wonderful tool. And so if the brainworm's willing to go through it with him, chances are it's perfectly safe. See,
That's what I'm thinking.
we've thought this through.
Okay, I only see. I don't hear anything else. I hear none of the dialogue because it's all taking place inside of Whittle's mind. But I see that Whittles is, cinematically putting the orb up to his forehead, and I just go in there and I put my hand in between the forehead and the orb, and I say, "What are you doing? This is evil right now, okay? Whatever is in this ball is gonna go into you. That's how this works, okay? Is that a risk you're willing to take, Whittles? Are you willing
Mammoth
to almost do a TPK?"
cheese butter. And with that, he quickly moves the ball to the side and puts it against his forehead.
No!
Okay.
Thank you for trying to save me, though, Reaver Reaper. I do appreciate the thought.
Got you.
Whittle's thoughts are not Steve's thoughts.
That's all right. That's all right. I got
yeah,
you, man.
Steve's a good person. He is temple worthy. Whittles is not.
Hey, the brainworm's not the only one that's going to be converting eventually. Don't you worry. He's got an arc. Whittles has an arc.
Yes, that's hopeful.
Yes.
I love it. I'm so
We're all
excited.
going to. We're all getting to the Celestial Kingdom, guys.
Oh, no. At most, Whittles is going up to chaotic neutral. Like, let's not. We're not going quite there, but at least he's not abyss bound. That's all.
I believe in Whittles, even if you don't.
KDM, what we got?
All right. So just testing again. If I use this voice, does it work for everything?
Yeah.
Yes.
A deep red light pulses on outward from this otherwise violet aura coming from smoke. And this deep red light envelops the forehead of our main man with a semi-translucent glow. And this light isn't just for show. It is the manifestation of some of the most evil energy from an ancient source.
What did I
This
say?
light, as soon as it retracts, it feels somehow empty for Windows. Somehow something was taken from you.
What just happened?
All right. You have now found yourself without a brainworm.
What did I say?
Byron's gone.
I'm free! No more curses from me! Crap! What does this mean?
What did I say?
That stupid brainworm was supposed to go to Jesus and was supposed to be good, and I got sucked into the orb. Okay, people. We just lost the worm.
Well, hopefully, what happened is we sent a missionary right into the lion's den. So
That's right, Anvil. He's a missionary for
no,
for the Lord. He twinkled. He twinkled. That's right. He twinkled.
I'm gonna whisper to Whittles. Um, just, he's totally like the second part of the key to right now. Like pretty much what's happening is just after a moment of time, like he's gonna emerge with this orb inside of his body somehow, and we're gonna have to defeat him, or we've just unleashed the most evil thing in the world. And then I'm just gonna like address everybody else out. Yeah, our widow missionary had got a calling.
Yeah. Yeah, Whittles is shaking his head, and he like whispers back, "It's Ragnarok. I'm pretty sure we got Ragnarok on our hands. Everyone's dying tonight."
I'm gonna whisper back to, yeah, it's totally Ragnarok. Like this is happening right now. In fact, like we should probably put the thing in the bag. Well, let's change the subject. Change the subject. So, anyways,
You're gonna have lots of bodies to resurrect, man. Don't you worry. You're gonna have so much to use. So,
this is true.
so really quick, DM. So Brain Room's gone. Whittles now is, so to say, free from from the curse of being forced with this group, which is not something I was anticipating happening so soon. So I have to figure that out. But was there any other effects, like any knowledge, any residual awesomeness, or was it just pretty much the brainworm went somewhere into the orb, or the orb did something with it and we don't know what's going on?
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Oh,
Would I be able to? Because this is actually something I do, and like as soon as like I could tell what was going on, I wanted to roll and I wanted to roll a check as well, because I wanted to see what was really going down, because what I knew and not sharing with everybody versus like what's going
Okay,
on.
I'm hearing a bunch of rolls. Steven, that first roll you did. Okay, go ahead, Jordan.
no.
so-
See, I was rolling my D100, and when I realized that the 100 was, rolling really weird and get me like really high numbers, I'm like, this is weird. It's not,
So, I'm doing an investigation, right, Josh?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, bring up my stat sheet, because I didn't. Don't worry, I don't cheat. But yes, I was rolling the dice a lot because it felt good to roll the dice.
I got a 15.
A 15?
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
unless you want. Actually, you know what? I'm going to. I'm gonna use an inspiration point. I'm gonna see if I can do better. I did. So I used an inspiration point to re-roll, and so that's a 22.
Nice. Oh, I don't have that anymore.
All of the powers of Vecna are known to you.
What?
I play a
Okay,
song.
so all the powers of Vecna are known to me, but because of like my background and stuff like that, that would be something that I kind of would have a pretty good idea of anyways. So I'm wondering, is like specifically on top of all the powers of Vecna being known to me, do I know what would have specifically happened with the brainworm entering into the um orb? Like, is there like any significance to that?
So you do notice that this black obsidian sphere that was shifting with runes now has the runes completely halted. And this glow of sorts of a violent hue in nature seemed to dim gradually until it stops glowing altogether.
Okay. So that's what Anvil sees. And he knows all the powers of Vecna. Is that information communicated to me, or is my role still yet to play a factor into this?
So that is for both of you.
Oh, okay. Cool. Because we're symbiotic. What my mount knows, I know. And when you say the powers of sorry. When you say the powers of Vecna known to me, are you talking about like just the standard D&D lore powers, or is there something special to that?
Just standard D&D lore.
Cool.
But
That's
as far as
great.
what else has happened with this orb, or where this orb came about, it is an artifact barely known to even just the most esoteric of minds in the histories of time.
Josh came up with this late night at 2 o'clock in the morning. Cool. So when the runes stop, do the runes are they? Is it something like where I could excuse me, read them or interpret them or something?
So what languages do you know?
Whittles, he knows. Common, Fiendish, Draconic, and Celestial. Do I have... Oh no, I changed him up.
Okay, sorry. Say it again. What languages do you know?
Yeah, I know. Common, and then Fiendish, Draconic, and Celestial.
Okay.
So the runes are doing something a little bit funky again. Similar to what you were hearing before with the Dragon Boys, where it should be draconic. But for some reason, it's like the sounds are just either a little bit drawn out too long, or they're a little bit more staccato where they shouldn't be. Changing what should be words in draconic, but to this altered form or state.
Anvil. If I hold the orb just right, can you please translate the runes for me for your knowing all languages thing? And he like holds up the orb in such a way so that Anvil can kind of see it.
So, hold on a second. So, the can I at least make like make a check to see if I know what the runes are, because I don't know. I'm going to assume that what he found out I don't know, and so I'm going to see if like I can figure out what kind of like language it is, or what kind of like runes these things are, and see if I have any knowledge or any kind of experience with these runes.
Give me a roll.
That is a 15.
So, really quick, while they're doing this, I have some leather armor and I have a dagger. Can I get close enough to the orb to where I could maybe etch the symbols that I see onto my leather armor with a dagger?
Yep. Super easy.
Awesome. I do that.
So we have one
Please
guy
tell me. Please tell me
defacing
his arm like.
his clothing.
Yep. It's gonna
I
be
want his
sick.
patron god to get like really pissed off that he's now devoting himself to Vecna, and like there now be like other warlocks showing up, and like there's like this "you can't leave the gang" moment, and then they start just like battling out, and then Wills will just be there eating like the Faerun equivalent of popcorn, going, "This is good, this is good, I like it."
The big bad evil guy is now fighting a different god.
Yeah.
And we're now just watching the whole thing, gaining experience the whole time.
It's like, wow, level 10 already. Goodness.
Hey, the battle just began.
All right, so going back to Anvil with your roll of a 15. There is something postal, something mimicking languages that you know and dialects that are on postal regions. For some reason, this Draconic, which is almost known to you as well, it's in a dialect that changes it just enough to where it's mystery use. For me, it's a
And so pulling from my experience with the Dragonborns and the other tavern, could I kind of guesstimate that this is the written dialect of what was being spoken there?
You sure can.
All right. So unfortunately, um, wait, hold on, let me see it. Oh, come on. I do not like that feature of Google.
It's okay, Google. It's okay, Google.
Okay. All right. So I cast Comprehend Language. And then what I do is I read what's there and figure out what's being said.
then just a quick check here.
Comprehend language. I'm allowed to comprehend any language that is spoken and written.
Oh snap! This qualifies for both.
That's what I had to do when I was checking just now because I knew that it happened with the spoken language, but I had to see if it says you also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. So I would obviously have to be touching the orb.
Okay.
And I could do that for an hour. Before recasting the spell.
Oh,
Slow down there, Maurice.
he was up all night raving.
All right. So the runes that are on there seem to be numbers indicating a certain amount of time.
Like,
And,
does it look like a time? Like, okay, no, go ahead and finish, and then I'll ask my questions.
and so this amount of time seems to indicate a decent chunk. And then below that seems to be a different amount of time of a chunk indicated. And the list seems to continue on until the runes fade into, as you're turning the orb, they start to fade into the most deeply etched, which seem to be the most it's either the first on the list or it's the last on the list. Because as you're twisting the ball, it's hard to find where it begins and where it ends.
I chime in and I say, I've got all the runes etched on my shirt. Would you like to read it?
On your skirt?
On my leather armor that I have that has holes in it now.
What I'll do is I will,
Mason, you gotta do a performance check to make sure you didn't poke holes through and compromise your armor.
It's alright! They make other leather tunics. But yes, I'll do that. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, that's a 16.
Okay. The only effect is, and where on your armor exactly is this? Like, what part of your body is it covering?
It'll just
His
kind of be on
sporin
the...
pouch.
Yeah, it's on my sporin. So it's just it's on like just the chest, like the front part of the leather armor.
Okay. You can perceive breezes just slightly better through that area.
Sweet. Hey, aerodynamics, right? This thing's air cooled. Not gonna get as hot in the summertime.
so I'm gonna read the runes that Reaver has on etched on his.
It is the exact same.
Okay, so I'm gonna have I'm gonna tell him whether these numbers are going up or down, like whether this is a countdown or a timer keeping time. It is unknown at this moment, but it looks like these are a series of numbers. Um, if you want, while we have the information, do you want to try to write down what those numbers are
Yep.
in a relationship to? Okay. Now, um, Josh, if you type into the chat those numbers, they probably would be a lot easier and less time consuming. But also, I'm going to try to take my. I'm going to try to take this spell to a further area that may not work, but I'm going to try it. So,
It's alright. They told Goku that going over a certain Kaioken would kill him, but he's okay. So you got this.
yeah, he also died a few times. But
That's
we
true.
don't need to worry about that. Um, the, so what I'm trying to do is instead of just magically comprehending the language, being able to understand this language as it is written, I want to attempt to find a way of decoding this language. That way, when I'm not underneath the influence of the spell, I am able to continue to understand this strange dialect of Draconic. I would assume having maxed out intelligence, that would be something that I would be able to work out. And if I need to do comprehend language more than once, and spend a few hours on this, then okay. But what I want to do is, given my experience with the oral dialect, and now given my experience with the written, I want to see if I can decode what's going on, um, and do that as efficiently as possible. So, what say you, DM? Ding! Didn't think about that.
Sorry, I just put up the chunks of time onto the chat. And so I got most of that, but just in a nutshell, what the main objective of what you're trying to do in one sentence.
Decode the language so I can understand it without needing magic.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna have to roll me a check on that one then.
Yeah. Like intelligence or um cuteness. Like, what do you want?
um. What would you argue would be fair?
Um, to be able to decode, and then to decode a language that has been altered into a language that is used. Um, if I was to put that on a skill, I would put that at. Geez, that one's kind of hard.
Be more of an intelligence.
Well, it's gonna be an intelligence thing, but then there's no like translation skill. um, because acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, athletics, deception, history, insight, intimidation, investigation, medicine, nature, perception, performance, persuasion, religion, sleight of hand, stealth, survival. Like, I mean, is this
I
a
could see
magical?
I could see history or investigation.
Okay. Well then, let's go with investigation. So you want an
Okay.
investigation check?
Yep.
Um, can I summon the Urim and Thummim?
Yes! I've got my hat right here!
I'm going to roll for my, what do you call it? Inspiration, because I had more than one of those points.
What was that first roll?
It was a 2.
Ooh!
That was the one that I did not want.
He had something in his eye as he was writing it down. None of this makes sense, guys. Like,
This is yeah. Like, I think I made it worse.
This
Okay,
is
hold on.
all just very frustrating.
I'm gonna try to give myself some place to roll because it kept on hitting things and it wasn't a proper roll. Okay, that's a 22.
I think it worked.
No, he failed it.
Josh was
All
like,
right.
"Well, you needed a 23 to be able to figure it out."
1 week in the library, and you are good to go.
So, a question I do have is, could I study it with him and try and pick up on it as well?
You can give me a roll for that as far as
Same kind of role of investigation.
Sweet.
The investigate if you can help.
Okay. That wasn't a roll. The dice just literally just like flew out of my hand. But we can keep it. It was a 10 plus. Let's see.
Hey, just so you know, I have a personal rule that it doesn't count unless it rolls like natural on the like on your surface. I don't know how the DM wants to do it, but to me, it's not cheating if there's interference with a roll. But that's me.
Just on your honor.
Okay.
If that was meant to be the roll, or if it like, because there's sometimes like we drop it as you're picking up stuff. So on your
Yeah,
honor.
I was pulling it out of my senzu bean bag here, so yeah. All right, let's give this a shot. Okay, yeah, that is a -2.
Do you have any inspiration?
Well, yeah,
You
actually, I have a thing. So,
Hey, real quick, Mace,
yeah,
I want to throw you a lifeline.
okay,
Are you -2? You say.
yeah.
How bad is your intelligence there?
Oh, my intelligence is a -3.
Which is why he's now
guy.
paying child support for someone else's kids.
Look, I don't have any money. Okay, I gave it all away. I bought so much alcohol with that. You should have been there.
You know what?
He's not
Tell us
digging
all the
himself out of
time.
his hole, is he?
Nope, no.
No.
That's a -3 to intelligence. All right.
So, never mind. If you want to use your inspiration, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
You know what?
Just, Nat 20 is not going to be,
It's not gonna be too nice to me. So, you know
yeah,
what?
at all.
We're gonna leave it alone. I go, and then I turn around and I scrap that idea.
It's like, how do you even, like, role play the negative stuff? Like, do you have to, like, say something that just takes away knowledge from other people?
I'm developing a brain worm.
so for going and helping your comrade with a -3, it will now take him 10 days instead of 7 because of all the ways you have helped him with his investigation, which led to papers missing and shuffled where they shouldn't have been. And so it's really an extra 3 days of him correcting that help.
I cancel.
Um,
I cancel.
I walk over to both of them and say, "It's okay, but it's alright." Pat their
It's
back.
not okay. I'm so
Try
dumb.
to help a little.
I literally don't even know anything.
I'm going to address the crowd and say, who here has... Okay. Check your ego at the door.
Who went to school?
Who here... Well, you can be dumb as a brick and have a degree, okay? I've known a lot of stupid college people. But
Hey!
who here has above average intelligence?
Me.
I have above
What's-
average
No,
charisma.
Zilch.
Hey, keep that energy, Reaver. Keep that energy. We
You know
want
what
to
they
see
say?
this.
Fake it till you make it.
Yep, and you know what? Keep faking it, buddy.
I'm a
Um,
genius.
Yeah, you are. Now, fish.
I always knew my papa was above average intelligence.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
There's a lot of things making sense now. Fish. What's your intelligence there? Like
Do you want the modifier or?
how smart is you? Yeah. I mean, however you want to like give me that information.
I have an 18 plus 5.
So if you have a score of 18, your intelligence modifier, I think, is 4.
Plus 5.
It's
Wait.
plus 5.
Yeah.
Because 20 is plus 20. So an intelligence modifier of 20 is a plus 5. An intelligence modifier of for an 18 should be a 4 because it goes 0, 11, or 10, 11 is 0, 12, 13 is 1, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if you have an 18, then...
In that case, it's a plus 4.
Okay. That's something we want. Okay.
And if it helps with anything, one of the whole things with my character is that I'm really smart, but I just choose not to use any of it. And I actually studied like a lot of languages, back in wizard school. So I can help you if you need help.
I really, really, really appreciate your support in this. And if this is something that you want to do, let's go with it. I really appreciate it. Cricket, where are you at in life?
0
A 0?
intelligence.
That's above average.
So a 0 modifier?
Yeah, 0 modifier.
Okay. So what that means is you have average intelligence. Yeah, so you are of average intelligence. Kind of looking down and knowing that there might be a little bit of fudging here. Widows? What member? Eco? Pride? Out the window? Right now, we need to get some work done. How are you at the library?
Well, I helped this guy named Dewey come up with a decimal system to sort things, if that answers your question.
Oh, I know that guy. I went to school with him.
You have good creative skills when it comes to organization. How about translating and deciphering one language from another?
By the way, he clearly sees that you're talking to him like a baby, and he is not amused. And for that, he boops you on the nose with his little finger.
With the orb?
No.
And for a second, my eyes flash. Like you just hit a battery onto a light bulb, just like beep.
No, he. Whittles says, I don't know. You know what? We're gonna let that slide for now because I don't know what the best response is. We're just gonna go. I'm above average, thank you. But most of my awesomeness is in the adorable willpower that is the Whittles. And so from that, just infer that he has a +1. You're smart enough to know he has a +1. You can read in between the lines. He's got a +1.
So, addressing our NPC allies. What about you guys? Do you know your way around a squirrel?
Look, I'm really charismatic. I can fake it till I make it.
I hug Reaver Reaper while he talks.
tiny tear falls from his
I
face.
just want to be useful. I am useful.
You are.
Plus,
You
plus
are.
2 for me.
And then
Is a +4 good?
it's as good as your ancestry. Now,
That's my boy.
and like I'll just kind of like stroke Reaver's hair and just be like, hey, guess what? He's really smart. He's really smart, and he's, you know what? Yes, absolutely. Blood is thicker than water, but you know what? Adoption papers are a thing. So okay. Now we need to know where a library is, and I'm just see this is getting a little bit more sobbing. I'm going to make sure that he's away from Whittles when I'm handling this situation, because we're just going to have to like make sure that Whittles is not going to be a booger cry mess over here. Because I'm still wielding a Whittles. I say, well, what do you guys think about us spending a lot of time doing a lot of research?
I'll just sit in the corner and read a book. I'll try and get a little smarter so I can be helpful.
Hey, that's all. That's what the rest of us are doing. That's all the rest of us are doing.
Really?
Okay? Also, in fact, if anything, it'd be super helpful.
Yeah.
I think that if you gave us the books that we needed, and if you also were reading some of the books yourself, I think you'd be doing really, really good. In fact, we might be able to help out and choose some books for you. That would be really helpful. And we're going to start with this one called the Book of Mormon.
Oh, wow. That strikes a chord with me in my heart. Does it help me pay my child labor stuff? Child support? No. Okay.
Whittle sneaks in. Okay.
Okay.
And also, Whittles is going to sneak in that little book pile. ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. My first potty training book. All.
No, we're also going to throw in a pop-up book and see if it scares them. Like, it's going to be a thing.
Whittles gets a 14.
And this is a roll without Anvil or Reaver Reaper because you've already rolled.
Oh,
I get a 14.
Investigation on to see like how long it's going to take to do this. Oh, because with all of us going together, this should be reducing the amount of time. Unless I'm actually going to be fighting everybody. But no. It's okay.
Let's see what their rolls are.
Teen.
Oh wait, should I roll
bro.
too? Or no, I've kind of already rolled.
Yeah, both of you rolled. What did you say, D?
I got an 18.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Guys,
Okay.
we're getting those simple truths today.
Hey.
And then
We need
Widows? We can roll for you. He got a 12. Alright, so we are now down to 9 days.
No. I had a 14. Oh, I was muted. You couldn't hear me. I thought you were making a joke. Yeah, I had a 14. Sorry. I was talking the whole time, and you were like, "We'll roll for you." I'm like, "Okay." Like,
So we're at 8.75 days.
woohoo!
So me by myself is a week. Having like almost a small scholarly crew with me increases that time.
But do we all learn it, or does only one person learn it?
So this is with your -3 companion.
No, he will not be part of the investigation. No. He will think he's part of it.
Yeah.
But he's coloring.
So with a -3 affecting it, he brought it up to 10 days, but because he's helping everyone, but everyone's helping, we're down to 8.75 days.
Okay, and then but if I just do the work myself, it's 7.
He's
what about
committed.
with my help?
He is committed. His son is watching. son.
Look, I've got a lot of charisma, and I'm also above average in wisdom. But I am dumb as a bag of rocks. I can also play the recorder. There's a reason for all of this. I promise. I hope.
Okay. So, guys, it looks like there is no conceivable way of us getting anything less than a 7 on this, the way that the EM is allowing this to work. So, we're going to have to find somebody who will kind of guide us along the way. And just kind of go from there.
Can we
'Cause-
shake the ball and see if the brainworm will answer? Little guy got
That's a good
absorbed
idea.
into it, right? What if he's like a magic 8-ball?
Yeah,
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
like Whittles puts the orb against his head again, and the brainworm gets sucked into Whittles' head, and then it's like,
Okay.
the things I've learned.
So first, what I'm going to do is I like the idea, because the worst that happens is the brain worm gets shook around a little bit and gets pissed off, which is fine. Whittles finds entertaining. So Whittles takes the little ball and he's holding it by 2 hands, and he shakes it really hard, and he's listening and looking to see if anything's happened.
Do the numbers move around like a magic 8-ball, GM?
So describe again what exactly you do, Widows.
I shake it like an 8-ball.
Nothing changes.
Okay.
Giving a bit of a resigned sigh, because the idea does have its merits.
Okay.
He puts.
First off, who gave Widows freaking celery next to his microphone?
Sorry. Sorry. I think I pushed the mute button and it's not working the way I think it should.
It was almost like a satisfied, like, that's what I think. Yep.
Yeah. So Whittles, understanding the value of the moment and making sure that the necklace is on his neck, he puts the orb against his forehead again.
The purplish glow begins in the north as a new line of runes matches itself, replacing an old set, indicating the smallest amount of time and ticking upwards. This flash beam that before was this dark crimson red now shines a brilliant blue, and your whole forehead begins to glow anew. Hey, whoa! I guess I'm back. What did I miss?
Woolly mammoth.
I totally get it, guys. I'm so sorry for the way that he's acting right now. You know, he's got a thing. Just shh.
Welcome back, dearest bloodworm in Christ. So happy to have you again amongst us. Tell me of your adventures.
I mean, I was gone for what, like half minute? Something like that? Anyway, where are we heading now?
No. What were you doing when you were gone?
I was waiting. What were you guys doing?
I was enjoying the silence.
The silence.
What were
I'll
you
tell
doing?
you what, silence is boring. You go in that thing for hundreds of years, and I tell you what.
Wait, you were in there for hundreds of years?
I mean, maybe at some point.
Oh, brainworm. Okay. Hey, buddy, my brother in Christ. Okay, let's start from the beginning. have you been in this orb before?
My home? Yes. I've
Oh,
been there
cool.
many times.
Hey, cool. I'm glad you've been in your home a lot. Was the last time you were you in your home for like around 80? Like, were you away from your home for like 86 years, or were you ever in your home for precisely 86 years by chance?
Um, 86. How? I don't even remember.
Okay, was there a time where you were in your home for 67 years, 10 months, 3 weeks, 5 days, 15 hours, 58 minutes, and 22 seconds?
No, that was when I was with that one guy.
Oh, okay. So that's when you left your home then. Oh, cool. Oh, lovely. Very lovely. So you go to and from this little home of yours, right?
Well, I mean, people take me to and from my home.
Oh, okay. Hey, so when people take you out of your home, what do they do with you? I mean, other than have mind conversations and enjoy your company.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out because all of a sudden, there, I'm here, and now I can't do anything anymore. I'm just here.
Oh, so if I put you back in your home, are there things you can do?
Well, sure.
What are the things that you can do?
Or I can color. I can write poetry. And I can record it down too. It's great.
Oh, that's so cool, man. Hey, why don't you tell me one of your little poems?
You want to hear one of mine?
Yeah, I would love to hear one of your poems.
We just see like Whittles just kind of going, woolly mammoth, woolly mammoth, and like kind of sobbing.
Well, I mean, I have been working on haikus, and I've had this,
Haiku.
that just one in my mind from recent times, and I was able to, memorize most of it. But I mean, I wasn't back home long enough to write this down. But
Hey, that's okay, man. That's okay. Go for it.
all right, all right. Upon the still cross, love and grace poured out for all. Light breaks through the tomb.
What Whittles is going to do, because now he's realized that not only is he cursed with the brainworm, but now the brainworm is not just a slight inconvenience; it is now part of the quest and part of this power he has to figure out. And so he's now anyway. He's making a lot of realizations right now about his life and his life choices. But what he's going to do is, and I don't know how this comes out, so DM, you can tell me the words. Whittles is going to recite the poem aloud, but I don't know how that translates into the nonsense words that are used.
Literally just into nonsense.
Okay. So then, so I'll come up with it. What you hear Whittles say is yarn, yarn, cheese ball yarn, flower petals, yarn and cheese. Does anything happen once the words are finished?
I need everyone to give me a roll for
Is there?
except for widows.
Oh,
Everyone give me a performance check.
Oh,
14.
7.
20.
That'll be a 27.
Okay, everyone who got above a 10 can choose whether or not they express emotion of pure joy and tears. But if you got below that, it just comes out.
I weep. I weep. I weep the tears of Chicken Nuggerless Child.
Chicken nuggerless. um, the heart of a necromancer has grown 2 sizes that day.
Aww.
Oh, gee, this is wonderful.
Um, I give a slight tap on the head to Whittles and say, "Do we know anything about the runes yet, and how to translate the runes?"
I feel a little smart.
Apricots, peaches. No, wait, sorry. Apricots, peaches, apricots, noodles, peaches.
Shake your head,
And-
yes or no.
And with that, in my voice, I go, buddy, I'm gonna send you out just for a second because it's a little easier to do it like this. So I'm gonna send you out. Don't worry, I'll be bringing you back here soon because we're gonna need you, little buddy. Okay? Can I get a little mental high fist bump before we go?
Oh yeah, no, we're cool. I mean, if you could actually, if you could come back, or I guess if I could come back inside your drink, I need just a little bit of time to write down some more of my poems. And
Do you write,
so if
do you
you
write your
could leave,
poems in your?
if you could leave me in my house for a little bit longer, that'd be swell. Just like
Hey,
a couple
Yeah.
days.
You know what, buddy? I would love to leave you in your house for a little bit longer. I'm just worried that you would get lonely and you would miss us. And so, you know what? I'll give you a couple of days, okay? Is there a way to communicate with you while you're in your little orb thing? Or is that something that can only happen once you get into my mind?
No one's ever been able to talk to me while I was inside my house. I mean, it's pretty quiet. It's actually quite lovely.
Hey, really quick, if I say one of your poems and you're in your house, do you do fun things at all while you're still in your house? Like, do people ever use your house to do things?
I mean, I imagine they do, but I have no idea how. I just go inside and outside.
Hey, cool, man. Hey, could you do me a favor while you're writing down some poetry? Can you write down some of your classics and like things like like anything about fireballs or lightning or going to sleep or things like changing appearances? Like, you know what? Just bring a whole collection of all your different kinds of poetry. It's beautiful to me, and I really like it, and I would love to learn it all one day. And I want to hear you say it, and then I want to say it to my friends so that they can all enjoy your poetry because you're so gifted. Thank you. Thank you for being who you are.
I mean, I do have one more that I could share with you that I always keep memorized.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, go ahead, share it with me right now, please.
You hear the hesitation in the not wanting to hear it in his voice.
So insincere.
In tunnels dark in Dragon's Lair, lived widows, small with scraggly hair, not strong nor tough nor trained in fight, but he could read, and that seemed right.
Whoa!
A wizard I shall surely be. Widows cried with glee and lunacy. He stole a tomb from sorcerer's chest, then failed a spell, but tried his best. Oh, widows bold, with spells untold, his magic wild, his luck too cold. With every chant, the ground would shake, for fire and frauds were his mistake. And that's what I got so far.
You know, buddy, that was actually really beautiful. Thank you. I'm rather honored that you came up with this poem just about me, and the rhyme was very sublime. I thank you very much. Can you just do me one favor before I put you back in your home? Because I know you want your rest, but I want to repeat that back to you, and for everyone else to hear, because I think they should hear it.
Well, no, it's not ready yet. That was just there. It's not up for performance. But yeah, I gotta tweak it a little bit more.
Okay, well, I know how important it is to make sure that it's something's just right before you perform it. So let me know when it's done and ready, and please bring the rest of your poems, all your poems, bring them all with you, and I would love to hear each and every one of them and recite them for my friends. They
Um,
miss you.
I mean, I would have to memorize those, and I don't know how good my memory is for all my poems. I got books at home, you know.
Well, could you
But
bring your books with you?
I have no idea how I'm inside your head. I don't
You
know
know,
how to
buddy,
bring books with me.
this is kind of new for the both of us, and I don't know if you're like they were like part of you inside your head, and you could just like open up a little page and like read it and not hurt me or anything. But you know what? Let's focus on any poems about fire and lightning and poison. And you know what? Just do one of your favorites. Do one of your classics too. One of the ones that you really like. And let's just do 3 or 4 poems. And I would love to hear them. I really want to hear them a lot. You're awesome, little buddy. You're awesome.
Hey, I mean, real quick before I go, yeah, like I can do something quick with fire, lightning, and poison.
Oh no! Let's not do all 3. Let's just pick one.
No,
We
no,
don't.
no. I insist. I said,
Okay.
flames dance wild and bright. Lightning cracks the darkened sky. Venom waits below. Haiku.
Okay, dude. That was honestly really good. And I am now going to gesture for everyone to kind of take a step back, because sometimes poems are best felt when the speaker is in front looking away from them, and they are a good safe distance behind you. So I think this is going to be one of those, and you know
Are you
what?
sure? I mean, okay, if you know performance is better, all right, I trust you.
No. Yeah, it's about this particular performance, because what we're going to do is there is and DM, you can correct me if I'm off, but I'm going to say that there is plenty of distance away, about 30 feet away, like a little broken jug or pile of something on the ground, and I am going to be looking very intently at that, hoping that we figure this thing out right now. So,
Well, let's give
yes,
it a go.
let's give it a go. And with that, Whittles gestures very emphatically for everybody to kind of like get behind Anvil, and he's really hoping that you will do this. And then, is everyone going to follow the gesture?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then, he makes he repeats the rhyme, looking very intently at this object, far, far away, and he says, hold on.
Flames dance wild and bright. Lightning cracks the darkened sky. Venom waits below.
Is that? I like that, but I can't actually use real words. It has to be nonsense, right?
Well, how, my brethren?
Okay, here we go. Toad, flop, twig, toad, twig.
And a reality warping orb appears in front of your hands and slowly drifts to the wall.
And nothing happens.
And every single Geiger
Oh, really?
counter
Okay.
within 1,000 yards
Measures
just
7,000
goes
ringgits.
hot. there's enough radiation down here to cook a chicken.
So DM. So seriously, nothing happens on that one.
Nothing happens.
Okay, so we won't remember what those words are then. Okay.
Whoa. That's harsh. He tried hard on that one.
Oh no, what I mean is the nonsense words, because I'm recording the nonsense words that actually mean something, and
Gotcha.
so I don't have to fill up space for something that's not going to work out, or that like that. So it was actually a really good haiku, though. I mean, good job, man. Good job. I like it.
Yeah, Google AI.
And then I make a little gesture to like start clapping for everyone to start clapping for the performance. Just right. Right, good job, little guy. Good job, buddy. Good job. They loved it. They really loved it, and they're clapping for you. Okay. Well, I think it's time for you to go back into your home for a little bit, and we'll see you in a couple of days.
Oh, wrong button.
Yeah. And with that, Whittles touches his forehead to the ball. To the orb.
Okay. When
And then, with a flash of crimson light, the brainworm is gone.
Okay, people.
Widows, what do you know about the draconic language that has been altered? The reason why we sent you in there. We are trying to translate these runes that I'm pointing to, Reaver Reaper, these runes, and on here, what did the worm have to say about that? I could not understand you while you were talking to me.
We didn't send you to Walmart for chicken and you came out with butter, did we?
You guys won't believe this. Oh, sorry. You guys won't believe this. It's a timestamp of when the worm leaves his home. It's just a journal about how long he's been in there. It's nothing. The ball is the worm's home. Isn't that funny?
I walk over there.
The worm lives inside it, and you know what the funny thing is? He wants to be in there for the next couple of days to write poetry. That's why you all were clapping. It was one of his poems. We're stuck with the worm for quite a long time. At least for 3 days or so. He doesn't want to come back out for a while.
Now, Widows, I just want to, share with you a little bit of optimism here. I may not be very smart, but I am wise. Look, this worm's got your goose, brother. He's pulling your leg. That ball, I touched it with my finger, and I sensed something pretty wicked, pretty evil. And that's what I remember. And poems or not, this worm may have other plans, so be careful when you let him back into your brain. Otherwise, he may corrupt you.
Were you trying to get him to become a missionary for God or something?
No, they were. I've been watching idly.
No, I'm pretty sure you spent a full 24 hours about 2 sessions ago teaching him on preaching about the good word of God.
I don't remember that. Now, I did have I did have the amulet. I did have the amulet. And we all know that if you wear that for too long, you start to degrade mentally. And that definitely didn't help my case, especially after what I've been through in my life. So, I'm just floating that idea out there. You gotta watch out for this worm. Be wary of the smiling eye.
Reaper, I want you to look right in these eyes of mine. Go ahead, take a look. Look at them real close.
I look at him real close. Like, real close.
I don't want to share my cranium space with a crazy worm.
I know. I'm well aware you don't. I don't want you to either.
And so, I have no intention of renting out permanent space for him. But the problem we have is that some unforeseen hand of fate has inflicted you upon me, and we will never be able to be rid of each other until this worm and this orb are placed to where they need to be, which is not in the hands of the guy who told us to get it. Fear not. I do not want this any more than you do.
My eyes darken. And from beneath the hood that's on my head, you see two little pinpricks of red light. And my finger stretches out and touches Whittle's face. And I carve... Let's see. Where is it? I carve an elvish rune. A simple, just slight rune onto his face. And say,
Loser.
never again. And I back away.
Just kidding.
Did
my
anyone else see
and
that?
My eyes return back to normal.
And when you look at the rune on Widow's face, it's a smiley face of two dots. And
Nothing bad.
So really quick, never does Whittles understand what that means? That never again, or is that kind of like something to be revealed in the future moments? Just want to make sure I know how to play this one out.
Process it how you will. How would Widows process something like that?
Honestly, well, let me think.
You touch me again and I swear.
Actually, that's kind of about it. Like, there's there's that little glowing finger with Eldritch Blast. I'm not sure. You know what? What we're gonna do is we're gonna have Windows squint his eyes at you, and he's going to I don't know. That's a little attack worthy, actually. That's a little bit of he might want to get you back, but I don't know if I really want us to go down that path just yet.
Mm-hmm.
The orb compels you to attack.
Okay. We're going to. I think the best thing for now, though, is that moment you have kind of created a little bit of a rift between you and Whittles. Not that there wasn't one there before, anyway. And yeah, we're just going to let that play out. See what happens in the future.
Anvil's kind of miffed. Like the situation, and trying to exert patience. Anvil really wants some answers. And so Anvil wants a turn to talk to the worm.
Okay. Hey, Mount, I know you want to turn to talk to the worm, and I would absolutely love to let you have a chance to talk to the worm. But he was pretty adamant about giving him 3 days time before he comes out again. Um, I
Hey,
I want to I want to respect his wishes because I'm pretty sure that if we piss him off enough, he's going to explode us from the inside out. And I'm not quite ready to take that risk just yet.
you made a promise I'm not going to keep.
Yeah, about that. No, I'm sorry. We need to
About
give him. We need to give him one day. Just let's give him one day, and then I'll blame it on you that you took the orb from me, and then that way he gets all pissed off. Okay?
why waste our time and we could just do this now? How are
Yeah.
you going to manage our next 24 hours before this same outcome happens?
Didn't you want to go to the library and read books or something?
I want
Don't
to
we
go
have
to
like
his
10 minutes?
library and read his books.
You can't. It's in
Alright.
a stupid tennis ball club.
Give me the ball!
So I will allow that in that struggle, I hold on to the orb, but it touches Anvil's forehead.
Wait, hold on. I need like some insults thrown out. I have a couple that I have ready. Like, you know, I could see Widows like turning to Anvil like,
You fight like a drunken goose with a wooden spoon.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
and
That was.
the whole crowd.
I'd call you a witless buffoon, but that would be an insult to buffoons everywhere.
You're
I've seen more muscle on a dead dog.
and so Bink.
Okay, so we binked.
And Lord, please bless. Wait, what? Huh? Wait, hold on a second. Oh. Sorry, Lord. Just give me a second. Hey! Who's interrupted my prayers?
I have not interrupted. I have joined.
Hold on. I'm not even in my house anymore. What? Oh, hey. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
Oh, well, first off, do you want to finish that prayer? I'm here with you, brother
What?
in Christ.
Uh, then please bless Widows with what he needs. So let it be. All right. What's going on, man?
Hey, so the question I had for you is, we've been encountering some strange dialects with Draconic, both written and spoken, and um, I feel like I feel like, given some time, I can figure it out. But I kind of, since since we found out this is your home, I just wanted to ask you a little bit. Um, do you know anything about these runes or anything like that? Is this something that you could potentially maybe coach or teach me on? And then I can, leave you back to. I heard you have some like really dope poems and stuff like that. I myself have been known to dabble in the lyrical arts, and so I have a lot of respect for that. But I would just wanted to see if this was something that you could help us with. That way, everybody wins in this situation. You get your time with your art, and we can continue on with our mortal realm here.
So what was your question? I'm sorry. You want to know if that's my home or not? Or
On your home, there are runes inscribed. Most likely
oh yeah,
talking about time.
yeah. Those are so pretty. The way purple and everything.
Yeah, they are beautiful. You know how to read those. I heard. And so, could you just tell me, like, like what the catch is, or like how to just kind of like, differentiate between that and the common tongue would be?
Well, that one, that's the number 3. Like, how much do you want to know?
Well, yeah. So, like, how we write that out here, um, it's different, and we're just wondering, like, how can we translate from how that one's written to how we write it? And I can write down, or I can draw out the language differences, and I can see if he'll actually assist.
I I don't know any other languages, and so like I could just read to you if it's the one I know.
Sure. Uh, do you see what we have? Like, I know you can hear what goes on in my head, but can you see through my mind's eye, if you will?
Well, sure. I can see what you see.
Okay, so looking at this orb, like, you know, with those different runes on there, I'm communicating with him, saying, um, so you can see that these are like different timestamps, and most likely this is marking, how long it's been since you have been out of your home, right?
Well, yeah, each one of those. Yeah, that's how long I've been outside.
Been outside of your home, or time between going, like, so it's your time outside between being inside of your home.
So like, I mean, you can't see the older ones, but like this newest one, right here. We got. Oh dang, that was live than I remember. That was 12 years, 5 months, 3 weeks, 6. Are you writing this down? I thought you were translating.
So I can't translate. All I can, because what I'm trying to ask you is, how can we translate? So, okay, follow me on this. You're on one side of a river, and I'm on another. In order to make those two sides of the river connect, we need to build a bridge. Right now, if I write down everything on your side of the river, I still have no bridge, and I need to connect the two. That way, people on my side of the river can talk to and communicate with people on your side of the river. See, I've already talked to other dragonborns, and um, they were able to speak with this dialect on your side of the river. But the issue that we were facing is that they were wondering if we knew why they did what they did, and we're trying to figure out the why, and we're also trying to figure out how we can speak and write it ourselves so we can be more accustomed to people on your side of the river.
I'm going to tell you what that rune says, and then you write it in your language. That's what I'm hearing. Right?
Let's try it. And then you tell me what you see, and you can tell me how you get from there to there.
From my home to where?
Don't worry, buddy. We're gonna get there. Just me and you. I just recently got a calling to be a teacher in the Elders Quorum, and right now, I'm um I'm ready. I'm ready
Well,
to
hold on.
teach.
You told me about elders. What in the sweet nectar of honey's name is the quorum?
So after after having a little bit of an explanation of what a quorum is, I I kind of bring it back in, and I ask the worm, um, who brought you in here in the first place? Do you have any origin outside of this orb or your home?
I, God? I think that's the answer. Right? We were saying that's the answer to everything.
That's a good answer.
Yes. Now, um, do you remember seeing or experiencing God or your in during your creation? Do you have any memory or recollection, or do you not really?
I mean, do you remember being born?
Um, I have pictures. I have people who tell me. Did anybody come by and tell you about your birth? Your birth? Do you have a birth certificate?
No, I can't say I do.
You just existed, knowing that you had been existing, and then somehow, some way, you got released from your home into someone else's consciousness.
No, I was born. But isn't that what happens with you guys? I mean,
Yes, we are born to a mother. And who is your mother?
I don't know. Because I was kind of just born and then people kept taking me out of my home and then I go back.
And do they do people take you out of your home because they want answers or something out of you?
I have yet to figure that out. I mean, they just keep taking me out. I'm with them for a while, but then they get too old or something. Where a lot of them kind of, and maybe this is part of getting old, they stop getting so interesting because they get interesting in the other way.
Um, do you end up actually gaining any kind of like, does it kind of seem to like rejuvenate you when you are in people's minds? Like, I know that, it might be a little bit more, energetic and different, but do you seem to like, be filled with life while you're with people? Maybe you might be learning things as they might be forgetting things, everybody gets to be forgetful as they get old.
I mean, if you're asking if I'm an introvert versus an extrovert, definitely an introvert. I mean, I don't really share my phone with too many people.
Well, I understand that. I want to roll to see if he's lying to me. If he's hiding things and he's just lying.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to do an investigation.
This would be an insight check.
This will be insight. Okay, so let me see my modifier for that. Insight. Okay. That'll be a 16.
You don't even smell fish.
Okay. Because I have a working theory that this is Vecna is also really tied with necromancy a lot. And so if people are losing intelligence and if there's like degrading happening, I'm wondering if the brain worm is the tap into that person's life essence and intelligence, and this orb is like, you know, the if the worm is the USB, the orb of Vecna would be the hard drive.
Or
That's
like that
slowly
parable.
gain, and so, um, and so my last and final question is, um, do you in your home, do you like I thought I heard something that you do poems, you like to do other things. Um, so that to me that means that you can read and write. What do you read there?
This sounds like a trick question. The only thing to read there is what I wrote.
The only
So,
thing.
my poems.
Did you write those letters and inscriptions? Because how did you create an entire language based off of those runes that are on this orb?
Where did I learn to read and write? Is that the question?
Um, I'm gonna assume the answer to that is you've been alone the whole time, unless you learned it from somebody that you were with.
Well, I mean, someone had to have taught me. I'm pretty sure it's either the first guy or the second guy. Could have been the third gal. But yeah, I was really grateful to them when I should say a prayer later for gratitude. But I was really grateful for them to teach me how to read and write.
So, who is the first person that you who's the first mind that you were in? Do you know the name of them? Does
Ooh.
does Vecna ring a bell?
Oh, Vecna.
Oh, that was subtle, man. That was so subtle, Handful. Man, the way you slid that in there. Good for you.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how you heard of that name, but no one's called me that for a while.
Oh, well, actually, the reason why I heard where I come from, you're actually a really big deal. I think some of your poems and I think some of your um, haikus might have made it to my realm, and I'm not just talking about what you just did with my friend here. You're a really, really big deal, and I think that yeah, I really think that it would be better to get to know you, and I would think I would love to hear your stories and stuff. But I also heard that you wanted to be left alone. So, um, how much time did you want to have for yourself?
Well, I mean, like you flatter me. I don't know if I'm such a big deal or whatnot, but in honest, couple days I've come up with a couple, like haikus and a couple poems here and there. And so just a couple days would be good.
Sounds good. Um, so, hey, do you think you could teach me how to uh, read and write in the language that you know, which is these runes that are on your home?
Like, I think we've been over this before. You show me something, I'll read it for you.
Oh,
That's what I
no, no.
got.
No, no, no. I'm not talking about translation anymore. I want to just learn from you how things go. Like how you like I want to learn your language from you. The translation, I will do it on my own. But I want to learn from you how to read and write.
Roll an insight check.
An insight?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. That was No,
You
it
hear a
got
dice. You hear a dice rolling on the table. Hold on.
Well, so it was rolling and then like hopped, and it went on like other things, and it didn't get to finish its roll, and I was like, okay, no, that's interference.
On your honor. On your honor.
Yeah, oh yeah. And you said investigation. That's
Insight.
the insight. That's a 20.
He thinks he's speaking his language to you already.
Right. I didn't say speak his language. I said read and write.
He only sees one language.
He
He only
sees.
thinks one language, as far as he knows.
Right. That's what he knows.
You could show
And-
him Spanish and French, and he would say, "Yep, I can read that. Yep, I can read that."
Okay. So so he can read and write every single language, and he can comprehend every single. He is the living embodiment of the spell comprehend language.
He thinks it's all the same language.
He thinks it's all the same language.
Ah, okay.
But
I don't Vecna.
when he writes, it's in this weird language.
Which is what I'm talking about.
But for him, you're gonna say, "Okay, this symbol," and he's gonna say, "Yeah," and then you're gonna write it in a different way, and he's gonna read it just the same.
So if he writes down a symbol and I write down the same symbol and he says this symbol means fire, and I'm like, okay, I wrote that same symbol. That symbol means fire, and he goes, yeah. And then
you write fire in Greek, and he'll say, "Well, yeah, fire."
Right. But it doesn't matter what he interprets here. It's how I bring his knowledge out there. That is literally my whole goal.
Right, but like if you wrote in Greek, he can't discern the difference between the first language and the second language.
Yeah, but if I told him write down the grass is green, and he wrote down in his language, I can take that information, and then if in the world I see those runes, I can say and then from there I could go the grass is green because I have it in my own personal thing. Yep. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And so I want to learn how to read and write in his language. And so that's what I'm like trying to accomplish here is like I understand where he is, but what I'm trying to obtain.
But it's going to confuse him though, because he's going to think that you already know this. You just wrote it.
You'll probably have to teach him like delineation, like you say, okay.
Just use Duolingo.
Oh,
Fair enough.
that was dead.
So, you might have to say like, okay, what you're writing is your language, what I write is my language, but you understand them, but there is a difference, and so you'll have to like teach him like, okay, this is English or common, this is this.
You'll have to bring in the -3 intelligence guy to help you understand how to break
Let me
it down.
dumb it down for you.
Okay, let's run it by Reaver Reaper. You understand it? No. Okay, let's dumb it down a little bit more. You understand it? Okay, yes? Alright, now we have our angle.
So, Jordan, I think the problem that we're going to have is that unless we have writing that's in his language that we can reverse engineer, we won't ever figure out what fire. Like, you won't be able to write fire and figure out what that rune is in his language. So I think you can only take texts from what he has written or that's in that language. He can translate that for you, but you can't give him a book that's in common and figure out what it is, the inverse. It's just not going to work that way.
Because his world is also just his world, as far as we know.
You could even have him write something, like have him write the alphabet.
Oh, the worm doesn't actually write, though. Like, as in his books, he doesn't know how to bring them over for us to see.
Oh, right, okay.
They are only kept in the little world that is in the orb.
he lives in your mind, do you think there would be some way that he could like tell you how to write a poem? Like not necessarily like
So no.
so like he could almost like guide your hand or like coach you on how to write a word? Basically like
That
make
that would be interesting.
make a 90-degree semicircle. Put a little dot above the thing. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and he's a very very he doesn't want to offend, so he's like, yeah,
Great job, buddy.
that's the one. But they're like as complex as like Mandarin, where it's like all these like itty bitty like little, and like some of like the kanji from like Japanese, where it's just
Okay.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something. It's gonna be a little selfish. I do not want to roleplay that out. If that is how Jordan learns the language, can we please do that offline? Because I don't want to spend 45 minutes to an hour hearing the back and forth about, oh, it has to be more of a semicircle, like a tarpon. And what is a tarpon? Well, it's that little. I'd really like to not
so the way
roleplay
hunt
this
down a
out.
tarpon like at the top of a mountain peak.
Exactly.
Like, hold him down. Okay, now angle his beak that way, right there. Capture that.
So
I would rather hunt for more examples of his writing in our world than role play out the mime game.
well, so here's something that can happen, right? Is in past campaigns I've played in, Jordan can say like, I want to be working on this between, this time we play and the next time. And then through that time things can happen and stuff.
Hey, if Jordan wants to take that moment and try to learn a new language by doing that kind of guiding, and if Josh allows it, I'm okay with it. I'm not saying that outcome's bad. I just don't want to have to sit through the 3 hours for us to figure out how high is done, and then we still have another 20,000 words to go. That's the part I don't want to do.
The roleplay on that would be insane. It would not be viable.
Anvil comes up the ladder like after the 7 days or whatever, with like frustrated tear stains down his cheeks. He's like, "It's done."
Or he's like illuminated like Moses off when he comes off the mountain.
No, because guess what? It's a ladder's history. I'll be now able to read everything on that ladder because it'll be written in that language, and you guys don't know that yet because this is a plot hook that Josh hasn't revealed to any of us, not even me.
We've actually been climbing down the runes the whole time.
We never knew because it was covered in Whittle's blood.
Oh my god.
So, anyways, I want to try to learn how, like, he can teach me how these things are going. But guess what? You want to know what happened already? Reaver Reaper has already wrote down each one of those things, at least numerically. So, we at least can get 0 to 9. Or 10 if 10 has a different symbol and stuff like that. So we have numbers.
They just make it hard on you where like every number is a different symbol.
Every number is a different symbol. Like that, hey, that's fine, whatever. But but make it so that so it's like we already have outside of his realm examples of his writing, and so we can start there. So, I'm okay with learning it, but what I'm not okay with is spending months on
giving
end.
up.
Well, I'm not a quitter. But
my mama didn't raise no quitter.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, I just want to see if I can learn from him and stuff like that. Because also, if he admitted that his name is Vecna,
Yeah.
One of the things as a necromancer that I'm super gonna want to do is learn from one of the most famous and most powerful necromancers that have ever walked. And yeah, so like, could I ask for a better teacher? I mean, I can complain, but I'm not right now. I might not get a better teacher because then we can start with reading and writing, and then we can go to other things. Gain his trust, and then I can weasel out his secrets, and then eventually I will
Weasel
get,
out.
and then eventually I'll get the Krabby Patty secret formula.
You will never get the Krabby Patty secret formula.
Says the worm.
Oh my god.
If it's the last thing I do,
Like the brain worm just like glows into this like demonic like dragon and stuff. Like
That's
this
insane.
insane
you
Dracolich.
dare to defy the Krabby Patty.
Sponge boy me Bob. Sponge.
Sponge boy me Bob.
Oh my
Boy,
god.
me Bob!
That's my boy.
Are you ready?
This is the
It's a pipe bomb.
So, anyways,
Thank you,
Maybe-
everyone.
That was so fun. What?
all
Some
right.
interesting things have happened, and some interesting reveals have wildly and crazily happened because no one was freaking supposed to figure out that you smack your forehead to this orb for like who knows how long. But there we go.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Whittles for advancing the going at a snail's pace campaign about like maybe 6 months. So thank you, Whittles, for advancing
Yeah,
us as far.
I'm pretty sure we jumped like past like 4 or 5 quest givers at this moment, and then Jordan figuring out that the worm was Vecna himself probably jumped us another like 6 or 8 big sessions right there. Which I'm gonna say this Anvil. When Whittles learns in the next session that the worm's name is Vecna, he's gonna react, not like horribly wrong, but
Strongly.
that's gonna change a few things about things, and yeah, it's gonna be. He wasn't expecting the worm to be Vecna. You don't trust an evil god, even if he's a benign little mind worm. You just don't do it.
9?
Yeah.
We'll have to do a mind
He's a
battle.
he's a cleverly disguised malware. He's a Trojan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.